I have followed Jordan Reid from his time at the Draft Network to now at ESPN, and he is a wonderful mind when it comes to the NFL draft. And he just released his top 50 prospects for the 2024 NFL draft. And we're going to take a look at that sucker today. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, please know what you think in the comment section below, where we have that nice, beautiful football discourse. At number 1, he has Marvin Harrison Jr. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed he's probably going to be at the very latest in everyone's top 3, whether that's 1, 2, or 3. Some people may put him ahead because of the quarterbacks and just because quarterback value. But for a lot of people, he's going to be number 1. He is a phenomenal prospect. Let's just keep moving. Let's go ahead and get Drake May and Caleb Williams out of the way. There's Caleb Williams at number 2. Drake May at number 3. That's to be expected. They are the top 2 quarterback prospects in this draft class. They just immense tools. They got youth on their side. We're going to see them go very, very early. Now, let's check out where we go from here. Maybe an Olu Fashanu, Joe Alt. It's Olu Fashanu. I imagine we're going to see Joe Alt fairly soon here as well. Matter of fact, actually, I just peeked at number 5. It is Joe Alt. So he's got the tackles here at 4 and 5. And for me, I've been saying this almost through the whole, thus far, the whole draft process, this whole season, that Olu Fashanu and Joe Alt, it's 1A and 1B when it comes to this tackle class. They're both phenomenal. You're going to see them go in the top 10. I am curious where Brock Bowers falls on this list and where Jaden Daniels, who's going to be quarterback 3 for a lot of people. Actually, I just bumped him up to quarterback 3 for myself. Just a better improviser than like a Bo Nix. So it just makes sense to have him ahead of Bo Nix. I'm actually curious where Bo Nix is going to fall on here. And, it's Malik Neighbors at number 6. Hell yeah, dude. I love Malik Neighbors. I think he has created enough distance between himself and the other receivers you would count in that tier 2, Roma Dunze, Keon Coleman, to where it's like, yeah, no, he's probably the wide receiver 2 in this class. He started my wide receiver 2, and there was some fluctuating during the season, but he's back at it at my wide receiver 2, and it totally worth a top 10 pick. Dallas Turner. Our first defensive prospect. So he likes Turner. Listen, it's going to be interesting to see how everyone rates these edges. From Turner to Liatu Latu to Jared Verse to Chop Robinson. I think we're going to see a lot of different combinations there. As in, for me, like, what can I say, man? I love Jared Verse. He's kind of my guy. But I get it with Dallas Turner. He's a little undersized, but just because of that doesn't mean that he lacks play strength. Like, the guy doesn't mind putting his nose in the action one bit. Now we see Brock Bowers. I imagine he falls a little bit just because him being the tight end. I guess we could read this real quick. Bowers, formational versatility and reliability at the catch point are unmatched in this class. The clear tight end 1 can be a mismatch all over the field. One of the most impressive parts about his game is the run after the catch ability. He's difficult to bring down. His 494 receiving yards after contact this season leads all FBS tight ends. I mean, to be fair, the tight end class, not that impressive. Positional value will come into the equation with Bowers, but he has one of the best overall playmakers in this class. I do agree. Now we see the next wide receiver, Roma Dunze. There we go. When it comes to a just size, speed, length combination, he looks the part. He has played the part. The contested catch rate is way up this season. And hey, don't be surprised if you see this cat in the top 10. Just don't. All right, who's at number 10? It's Liatu Latu. Like I said, we're going to see a lot of combinations when it comes to the edge class. Now, I'm kind of curious. I imagine Jared Verse will be in the top 15 here. Chop Robinson, I kind of feel like is kind of the guy that has the tools, but the production's not necessarily there, though his win rate was phenomenal this season. But Liatu Latu, again, the big question with him is the injury. Drazon Newton, thank you. show some love to Jerzon Newton, man. I know at least Dane Brugler said a lot of teams view him as a second rounder because he's undersized, 6'2", 295. I'm not gonna lie, I don't care, man. This guy plays with his hair on fire. He's phenomenal, gets the quarterback, and he plays the run exceptionally well. He's well worth a top 15 pick. And I don't love interior guys like that. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're gonna want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. We got Jared Verse here at 12. Again, don't like the combinations can be different for everybody. For me, Verse would be 1, but with Latu, Dallas Turner, I'm kind of curious how far Chop Robinson will be off on this list. 13 is JC Latham. Okay, so OT3. He's kind of everybody's OT3 almost at this point. Just because, again, his play's been so good since the Texas game. It really has. Keon Coleman coming here at 14. He is starting to look like the guy in that tier 2 among Neighbors and Adunze, as just not necessarily like the speed won't impress you, the explosiveness won't really impress you, and how much do you really love contested catch guys? That's kind of what might come down to when it comes to Coleman. But like Coleman, man, he's legit, man. He's definitely a first rounder in my opinion. There's Jaden Daniels here at 15. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a little bit later than I'd expect. I figure everyone's just kind of falling in love with him. I've been like just slowly moving him up. Still for like him and Bo Nix are kind of around that 20 range for me. So I think this is totally fair where Jaden Daniels probably should go. I know a lot of people were like, oh, okay, well, he's probably going to go top 10, which, I mean, a lot of that's quarterback value, though. We got Kool-Aid McKinstry, my boy. I love the Kool-Aid. He isn't any longer my corner 1, just because I think Nate Wiggins is just kind of a freak. But Kool-Aid's not far off, man. I still kind of like me. Wiggins and Kool-Aid are very close. Closely knitted to one another, but I think those guys are probably your corner. One of them are your corner 1s here. Cooper DeJean coming here at 17. I am curious if the leg injury will keep him out of the off-season draft process. Again, in terms of versatility, he's got the size, the athleticism, speed to be all that. A guy that doesn't mind putting his nose in the action, will go in there and make tackles, brings return experience. Like Cooper DeJean's really, really nice. All right, there's Nate Wiggins at 8. Doesn't surprise me that all 3 of those guys are one right after the other. Dude's really good, very smooth athlete. He's showcased the ball skills this year. Yeah, man, just all in all, really, really good. You got, Troy Fautanu, the guard. Yes. Well, I mean, he plays tackle, left tackle for Washington, but a lot of people see him as a guard prospect that he's probably going to kick inside, but he's going to give you that potential to play tackle if you need him to. Or maybe some people might even see him as a tackle, which kind of like, for me, puts him in that like mid to late day 3 area. I wonder if Jackson Powers Johnson makes this. I'm utterly in love with that cat, the center out of Oregon. Here's Braylon Trice. Oh, ahead of Chop Robinson. Okay. I don't love Trice this much, but I mean, it's not like I'm far off. He's inside my top 30, so I guess it's not that big of a difference, but yeah, man, Trice brings that power, man. Brings that power. I mean, at 274, he better. There's Terrion Arnold. He's gonna be he's been a hot riser this year. Still needs to add a little bit of polish to his game, but dude that has the build, he has the length, got the athletic ability. Here's Amarius Mims. I am curious if Amarius Mims ends up declaring. Wow, okay. Jordan Reid does mention the ankle issues. If you remember, he got hurt early in the year, had to have tightrope surgery on the ankle, did return, but I think he re-aggravated that ankle again in the SEC championship game. AD Mitchell starts that next tier of wide receivers. I like AD, man. He does kind of flirt with that fringe first round. I think when we talk about this next tier, we're talking guys like Brian Thomas, Troy Franklin, Emeka Buka, Xavier Leggett, and then AD Mitchell, like all those guys. I think there's just going to be a wild there's going to be a good different how do I say this? It's going to be a good different combination of how we rank these receivers in this class. Kalanise Fuaga, big fan. There are people that think he might be a better guard than tackle, but I mean, at his size, I think he's going to be fine at tackle. A guy that has mainly played in a very zone-heavy scheme there at Oregon State. And I think he's going to be very alluring for a lot of teams that run those outside zone, wide zone systems. Next, we got Jordan Morgan. I feel like this cat doesn't get enough love. He's going to be at the Senior Bowl. I love that. I'm a big fan of Jordan Morgan, man. Coming into the year, I think I had him inside the top 50, and just ever since then, man, he's just been up. The play's been really good. Been a part of that Arizona team that has really, just had the breakout year this year. Now we see Chop Robinson here at 26, which might be fair. Like I kind of brought up that with him, it's, again, the play hasn't been consistent with him. And it's not like he's a guy that plays the run exceptionally well. Like the dude plays with a hot motor, but just sometimes just gets washed out in the run game. So it'll be interesting to see where teams have him on their boards. Tyler Guyton. Okay, I'm not this high on Tyler Guyton. Top 50, definitely. I don't like him as a first rounder just yet. Which, I mean, I feel like this is kind of the area you have him in, and means he's probably a first rounder. But yeah, no, I don't like him better than I loved Anton Harrison last year, and I think Harrison was a lot further along than Guyton. Brian Thomas coming in here at 28. Again, we're going to start seeing these next tier receivers come off the board. Won't surprise me if I see Troy Franklin and Xavier Leggett fairly shortly after this. Dude's phenomenal. I think if he returned, he would have been up there with Luther Burden. It does feel like maybe Brian Thomas sees another year, but I understand why he would probably come out just because of Malik Neighbors and Jaden Daniels leaving to the NFL, so might as well just go too. Quinion Mitchell, another hot riser, man. Go if you're questioning, can this guy coming from Toledo, playing lesser competition, can he keep up with NFL talent? Go back to his 2022 tape against Marvin Harrison Jr. Did allow a touchdown. It was a perfectly placed ball by CJ Stroud. I thought the coverage was phenomenal. Quinion also go to the Senior Bowl, so be on the lookout for him. At 30, we got Kingsley Suamatea. There we go. This is a cat that has all the traits you would love. In terms of length, size, speed, he's got it. Does need some more polish, but it is what it is. I think I'd be willing to take him in terms of, is he maybe a starter from day one? Maybe not necessarily, but I think he could become a very high level starter relatively quickly. Keep in mind, man, don't look at BYU and be like, lesser competition. Granted, they are in the Big 12 now. They played Big 12 this year, but he was originally from Oregon. All right, we got Michael Penix Jr. Still no Bo Nix. Michael Penix. I like Michael Penix, man. I still think his accuracy could come and go. The dude is a gamer, but I do think the ball placement and the accuracy, it can be inconsistent on the throw-to-throw bases. Also, he's just got a huge injury history going back to Indiana, which I don't know how much that'll play into his draft stock for teams. He had two ACL tears, and I think multiple shoulder injuries while at Indiana, man. Just had a run of bad luck. At 32, Xavier Leggett, man, in terms of size and speed, this cat's someone to watch out for. He was kind of a fifth-year breakout, so late breakout, but a lot of that had to do with just being buried on the depth chart and having to fight his way to get reps. And, hey, made it work this season, man. Really did. Had a huge breakout year. Not exactly, I say speed, and it's not like he's the most lateral, in terms of lateral quicks and change of direction, he's not the smoothest athlete. You get this guy in a straight line, good luck. So, but we've seen that work for guys in the NFL, and his testing is going to be important. Here's JJ McCarthy. I'm still intrigued to see if he comes back or not. I think a lot of his projection is going to be determined during the playoffs. It really, really is. So, for him, it's kind of a wait and see. I got him and Michael Penix kind of in the same QB tier right now. At number 34 on his list, Kamari Lassiter. I think he's another big riser. Guy's just been shut down for Georgia this season. There's Graham Barton. Graham Barton, he has him listed as a center, and I think that's probably right. He was recruited as a guard, played center his freshman season, and then after that just played left tackle for Duke, and he was phenomenal there. So a guy that you technically could say has he could play everywhere on the offensive line, but I think a lot of people are going to be looking at him like maybe a center or a guard. I think that's probably largely where he goes. Oh, I wonder if he's even going to have Jackson Powers Johnson on here. Xavier Worthy, I'm not that high on Xavier Worthy. I think he's got one trump card and it's speed. It's one hell of a trump card, but it's about it. The ball skills come and go, and you do see he has legit ball skills, but sometimes, man, whether it's focus drops or just sometimes his hands just don't work. And then at his size, it's always going to be a concern. Can he handle the physicality of the NFL? Here's Kalen Keene. I'm kind of curious what he has to say about Kalen Keene. Keene came into the season as one of my top-ranked corners, but his junior campaign has been inconsistent. Preach. He had 3 interceptions, 15 pass breakups in 2022, but has managed 1 pass breakup this season. And after limited opponents to a 34.3 completion percentage over the first 2 years, he's given up a 53.8 on balls thrown his way in 2023. But the traits are still apparent on film. Is quick-footed with above-average change of direction skills and competes through the hands of receivers to create incompletions. Keene also has the speed to carry vertically with receivers. Is savvy in zone coverage and can quickly pick up route concepts. Yeah, I'm kind of curious, does he come out? Because I think he might return and be like, nah, I'm a first rounder for sure. I want to get my money. Cam Kitchens is the first safety for Reid here, which, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Not an ideal year, but I think in comparison to a Tyler Nubin, who for at least for me, for a lot of people, is safety one. Kitchens is the better ball hawk. Guy has a legit nose for the football, but sometimes you're gonna have to deal with the boom or bust plays, the high risk, high reward play that Kitchens plays with. Testing's gonna be very important for him, so we shall see. Jatavion Sanders here at 39. I mean, in this tight end class, yeah, Sanders is tight end too. I don't know when the next tight end after him would come off the board, so I feel like that might push him down on a lot of boards, but yeah, dude's a playmaker, man. There's Tyler Nubin. Doesn't surprise me that he's not too far after Kitchens. Terms of the size, length, and just athleticism, he's really got that. T'Vondre Sweat. Yep, he's going to be in everybody's top 50, guaranteed. At that size, really finally playing up to his potential. Might be, biggest concern might be, oh, he's not a 3-down player. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but I mean, I had that question about like a Dexter Lawrence coming into the NFL. Though I think I still had Lawrence as a first rounder. But I did have that question if he could be a 3-down player. And it ends up being like, oh yeah, shouldn't have worried about it. Though Sweat does carry a little bit more size. And to be fair, this was a breakout year after like, oh man, it seemed like he was trending in the right direction. The year prior, just was okay. Like this year, you really got to see him get after it. But yeah, now Sweat's nice, especially with some of the guys like Riley Mills deciding to go back to Notre Dame. That really crushed my heart. We got our first linebacker, Edgerrin Cooper. Well, he's my linebacker one after my boy Danny Stutzman decided to go back to Oklahoma. That guy, I remember he posted on, I think it was Instagram. He was like, what did he say? I'm like communion. I'm that cracker with the juice. Oh golly, that got me killed, dude. I love Danny Sussman. He was gonna be my linebacker one. Decided to return. Cooper, I think still work in progress from a coverage standpoint, but he's got the length. He's got the speed. He's got the just the solid good tackling ability. But especially for his style, man, because he really likes to like knock guys out in a good way, not like a Kareem Jackson type of way. All right, let's go to 43. Here's Emeka Egbuka. Yeah, man, he kind of falls on boards because he was dealing with the nagging leg injury this year, unfortunately. I'll be curious with Egbuka if he ends up going to like an all-star circuit, whether it's Senior Bowl or Shrine Bowl. But yeah, it'll be interesting with him. His teammate JT Tuimalau's here too. Another guy, man, he's got, I think, first-round tools. It's just the production hasn't been there for him. I love seeing Byron Murphy on here out of Texas. This dude's a freaking stud. Stinking love him. I like seeing him included in the top 50. I don't know if I'll have him this high when I get back to kind of like reordering things after we officially know who's in and who's out of the draft. But nah, man, the dude's been freaking great this year. I think he already accepted his Senior Bowl invite. Still no Bo Nix. Patrick Paul going here. I get it why everyone loves this cat. In terms of like the length, the size, the athletic ability. He will have a chance to shine in Mobile as well. Brandon Dorless, I know Jordan Reed's a big fan of him. I like him too, especially in this edge class, and he's a bit of a tweener, kind of sorta, but probably best profiles as like a penetrating 3-tech, but does have extensive edge experience, so he's got that versatility. If you're unfamiliar, this edge class kind of falls off after midday 2. You get to a point where it's like, I don't think I'm taking an edge till the 4th round. So Dorless, he's kind of that, that versatile cat that, okay, if you ended up not grabbing one of those early edges, then it's like, okay, maybe we could get by with him just with the versatility that he gives us. There's Chris Braswell, one of those edge players that I didn't mention. He's among those guys that are probably in that like early day 2 area before the class legitimately falls off. Like, also a big fan of Jonah Ellis out of Utah. Curious if he ends up coming back. Wonder if he even makes this list. There's Troy Franklin. Okay, so all those like tier 3 receivers now already included in here. Makes sense. This is a very good wide receiver draft. Curious if his teammate will be 50. Nope, no Bo Nix. Interesting. But Adisa Isaac, man, I don't know. I feel he's another one of those cats that I kind of like him better in the 4th round. That's kind of like when I think of, okay, who are the next, like after that edge class falls off, who are those guys that would go in the 4th round? You think about like Muhammad Kamara out of Colorado State, Jasheen Davis, I believe, out of Wake Forest. But Adisa Isaac, he's I think among those. Do a little bit better of a deep dive into him the next few weeks. Oh, did he accept a Senior Bowl invite? Hold up. Kind of curious. Did he accept? I don't have him as a Senior Bowl invite, but no, he is a Senior Bowl invite. So that's great. We're gonna get to see him at Mobile. But no Bo Nix. If you're interested, go ahead, check out the article for yourself. I'll include it in the description. Bo Nix not listed in his top 5, but you can go see the top 5 for all of his position rankings in the article. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, be easy, my friends. Later.